Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! Got Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
For real here. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by.
HG on deck, stats loaded in primes. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking one.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. Put him in there. He's not put him in there.
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
For your
All right, everyone, you are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. Caveman in the house. No HG again today, but that's all right. We got Joel in here on the soundboard, ready for another episode until the final whistle. We got some NBA to cover. Nuggets have been playing pretty solid without Jokic right now. Murray having himself his best career season, in my opinion. Definitely should be an all-star this year. My pick, number 1 seed in the top 25 in men's basketball in college right now. Arizona still number 1 in the country and still unbeaten. They got a game tonight, continuing in their conference play. They're late night this evening if you're able to catch that one, but they are one of the only unbeaten teams right now remaining in that top 5 in men's. On the women's side, we got UConn up top, UCLA, South Carolina, the very sneaky Vanderbilt team that's still unbeaten in the women's division right now, sneaking into the top 5. LSU got a nice upset win recently, and Maryland, the team that I had my eyes on at the beginning of the year, they lost a couple games, but they're still 12th, still 12th in the country. And we'll also take a look at some of our NHL rankings. I want to see how the Avs are doing. We'll take a look at anything going on, maybe in their trade deadline. And of course, to start the show, we got the Steelers head coach stepping down. Mike Tomlin steps down from head coaching in Pittsburgh after the loss and not expected to coach next year. So a lot of the teams looking to hire him, probably going to be waiting on that until the season after if you really want to go after him. But
did you see the reel that has been going around Facebook and TikTok and everything, where they asked the owner of the Ravens if he's thought about hiring Mike Tomlin because he had just quit yesterday, and he's like, and his quote was, "Oh shit, I didn't know that." So there's a good chance he might be going over there.
It was pretty unexpected, honestly, because he's been coaching there for 19 years, hasn't had a losing season once, always had more wins than losses at the end of the year, whether they made the playoffs or not. In the last 8 years or so, there hasn't been a lot of good playoff success.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of playoff success in the last 8 years or so with the Steelers, but it's still a really good head coach. I mean, they've only had 3 since they've been made. The team's been made. They've only had 3 head coaches.
Is that pushing it over?
Yeah.
Okay.
It did that to me yesterday too. It was it still got the audio, but it was glitching out a little bit on me.
Sorry, everybody.
That's okay. They were bearing with me yesterday. So they're ready for the show today. But I really didn't expect it. I thought they had Mike Tomlin there. You got Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it'd be the time to finally get the quarterback for the future, but it looks like they're going to be looking to hire somebody for the 2026 season. Pretty interesting. Yeah, that interview, what's his name? Steve Biscotti. Yeah. Steve Biscotti is he's either the owner or the GM of the Steelers.
I'm pretty sure he's the you're talking about Steelers.
I don't know, the Ravens guy.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that is the owner.
One of those two. Yeah. And they had a rough end of the season for both of those teams. But where do you think we should start? I think let's head over to the NBA because I want to talk about these Nuggets. And Peyton Watson picking up himself player of the week last week, averaging 25, 5 and 5 in the last 5 games. Been absolutely killing it for the Nuggets recently. Jamal Murray as well has been having himself an all-star season, even without Jokic around. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists a game. And this is one of his best shooting percentages in his entire career. Almost in 50-40-90 club right now. And only at 3.5 turnovers. So he's been playing some really clean basketball for the Denver Nuggets this year. I mean, his shot off the dribble game has been elevated. And that's kind of what I've been looking for Jamal Murray, at least in the last 3 seasons or so, was not for him to just have like a complete complete jump in all of his volume, but just the areas that he really has shined in the playoffs and in a lot of the postseason in his career. I think it was just time for him to bring that to the regular season, and just his volume throughout the entire year, I feel like should have been greater in previous seasons. But now that we're getting it, and this is right on time. It's keeping the Nuggets on track. 27-13, still a pretty solid record right now. Second in our division. I mean, it's really up for grabs. Now the Spurs got that Thunder series 3-1. So in reality, in all seriousness, Nuggets get those tiebreaker games on the Spurs and the Thunder. It'll all just come down to record. Nuggets could finish the season as the 1 seed. They're still in that top 3 conversation right now, and there's not as many teams in the top 5. I feel like Nuggets really have to worry about too much right now, because they're really off to one of the hottest starts with one of the best rosters in team history. Once we get this full starting 5 back by the beginning of February, first week of February, hopefully will be the time frame on when we'll get the return date for Nikola Jokic, and we'll probably have Christian Brown back by then. Aaron Gordon has been back now. He only missed a few games, so right at the All-Star break too. But we may even have Jokic back at the end of the All-Star break and have the full second half of the season after that weekend to just have our full team healthy and ready for the playoffs. Because we did recently have a 7-game road trip without Nikola Jokic. And let's see how we did in that 7 games. 3-4. But this is really where we got to see how this second unit was. And we really got to see the second unit shine. I mean, an overtime win in Philly with only Jamal Murray playing. What a game that was on January 5th. That's one we got to get to real quick once this freaking screen loads. It wants to keep opening up the tab for the 76ers. Jalen Pickett, pretty sure career high 29 points in this one, 11 for 20 shooting, and he did not even shoot a free throw. 29 points, man. Didn't even shoot a free throw. Zeke Naji came in, some great rebounding for us, 8 boards, and a lot of defensive rebounding. It was really just the defense in this one, man, that came to really shine. Paul George eliminated, 3 for 10, 2 for 7 from 3. Dominic Barlow, 2 for 6. Tyrese Maxey wasn't the greatest shooting night for him, a little bit under 50% from the field. And Edgecombe as well. One of their guys, pretty much been the second option in this offense when Embiid and Paul George aren't hitting too much. And they were right in this game the entire time. Nuggets, man. Spencer Jones has been great. Bruce Brown has been really good as a vet. Much better than DeAndre Jordan. But that's really only because, he can actually play. Bruce Brown can come out and actually put out 40 minutes like he did in this one. Get majority of the overtime. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what kind of wing player we turn Spencer Jones into, because a lot of the time he does get matched up against the 5, and Edelman and Nuggets are kind of okay with just letting him handle that one in the post. He's definitely strong enough. There are certain players that do take advantage of him, but that's just because there's a lot of great scorers in this league, and a lot of the ruling does benefit the offense. So, I mean, we've had such a good start to this beginning of the NBA season, and one of the biggest trades already happened. Trae Young, this kind of screws up my pick that I made way before the season even started that the Hawks might have been pretty good. They get fleeced out of a deal and end up sending their best player over to one of the worst teams for some of that team's worst players. I don't know. A lot of people have been saying online that it should be criminal for um for Trae Young to have even wanted to go to Washington D.C. Like I I I don't know, man. Like I think looking at their roster now with the young talent that they do have, you really have a chance to develop this team. You have you've got two guys on this team that are even over 30 years old. If you get Trae Young the chance and just develop this young talent on your team, I feel like there's definitely a future over here in Washington. But the most important position that a lot of teams need in a lot of leagues is the front office. So let's see, is the front office of the Washington Wizards going to be able to make this Trae Young trade, picking up one of the premier point guards, premier three-level scorers in the league? You're able to pick them up now. Are you going to be able to get some success in the future now? That's the main question that comes for the Washington Wizards now going forward. I mean, this season's kind of washed already, 10-28. I mean, you get Trae Young in there and see what happens with this squad. Just seeing what you got here. Very guard heavy roster and not too many big men. That's outside of Alex Sarr that are getting a lot of minutes right now. Marvin Bagley's out there, but him being 26 years old, I mean, you really got to, this team really has a chance. Marvin Bagley and Alex Sarr as your main bigs right now, getting somebody that can really run a nice pick and roll with Trae Young to start off with in this offseason. One of these young big men. There's a lot of 7-footers in college football and college basketball right now that are emerging. So he's really got a chance. He's really got a chance. But now that Trae Young's moved on, what's next in the full schedule here for the Washington Wizards? They're going on a quick 4-game road trip, already on a 3-game losing streak. They're going to LA, to Sacramento, playing in Denver on Saturday, and back to Washington to play LA and Denver again on a back-to-back. So that's a pretty interesting run for them. I think Trae Young is going to be in. Hasn't played yet for him since the trade, but I mean, once that gets finalized, I think the Washington Wizards are going to be a team to watch, man. Just to really see the pure potential of picking up Trae Young. Let's just see the full details of the trade here as well. They exchange for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. No picks involved in this trade, so I feel like in the end of the day for the Hawks, it is kind of a loss. Because you don't really get much except for CJ McCollum, who's on a pretty big contract and not much anything worth for your future to work out for. Jalen Johnson's having a great season, but now it's all kind of coming down to a fiery burning end because he has no more point guard. And his all-star season now is kind of going to just be ruined because you traded away your best player. We'll see what happens now for both of these teams, but the future may be bright for the Washington Wizards. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the other games that went on this week and this weekend in the NBA. But I'm going to hit a quick break, and When we come back, get right over to more NBA. Stick with us on Till the Final Whistle, everybody.
I wish there was some place that I could go where I got the promise to never be alone. These bars all have last call, and my friends, they ain't home. I wish there was some place that I could go with a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. When she walked out of my life, I nearly broke down, drowning my heartache in every bar in this town. Sooner or later, they all closed the door, and I was left playing guitar at home on the floor with a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. With a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. Yeah, they never have last call and play good old tunes.
All right, everybody. You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. Caveman Ace back. And before I move on to any college basketball, we had a pretty solid week last week in NBA. And just a quick rundown from Monday. We had our Nuggets overtime game, 125-124 win over the 76ers. Kevin Durant got his revenge with the game-winning three at home against the Phoenix Suns for a huge win over there. And surprisingly enough, the Thunder got beat by 40 points by you wouldn't even guess, the Charlotte Hornets. one of the worst teams in the league got to beat the number 1 seed and one of the just most dominant forces across the NBA right now. Going over Tuesday night, Mavericks had a pretty good close game against the Kings. DeMar DeRozan did not let him go down without a fight. Wednesday, Raptors and Hornets was a 1-point finish. That was a pretty solid game. Nuggets got another road win in Boston where Jamal Murray got 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 17 assists, a career high night. Jaylen Brown matched him with 33 points as well. There was no answer for those two defensively at all. 104-103, Magic get a nice overtime win over the Nets. Banchero having a little bit of a quieter season than last year after he got a lot of 30-point games last year. It seemed like he was just scoring 30 to 40 points at will. Got it in this one. 30, 14, and 6 for him. And Michael Porter Jr. having a weird season with the Nets. Being able to shot chuck all he wants, so he's putting up some pretty crazy numbers right now. Had 34 points and 3 steals in this game. So he's been having some fun over there. And that's very same night on Wednesday evening. This is the last game I'll do. The Rockets got into a great game, great defensive battle against the Trailblazers, where Asar Thompson put up 24 and 12, but not to be outdone by Denny Avdia, who had 41, who's definitely going to get the nod for an all-star this year. He's been one of the best to do it and faced a lot of adversity this year with his team, with the whole Chauncey Billups situation and losing his head coach after the first 2 games of the year. They got Darko over there. He's doing a good job coaching them. And Trailblazers are 18 and 20 right now. And they really could figure it out. They got killed last night by the Warriors by like 20 points, but it's a long season. They got a long way to go. Now let's kick it over to college finally. That's been enough NBA. We're about to hit the All-Star break over there, so things are probably going to be quite a little quieter until February kicks around and we get that All-Star weekend. But looking over on the women's side, I want to take a look at this Vanderbilt team. Let's see the competition that they faced up against this year. I want to see if they're going to be ready for a tournament run. It looks like later on in their schedule, they definitely do got some good squads. They are in the SEC, and there's plenty of ranked teams in there. They play number 2 South Carolina, and they've got number 7 Kentucky on their list right now, coming up later in the season. But so far, they have beaten LSU, Texas A&M, Missouri. Okay, the earlier games in the season were a little bit easier competition, but their later schedule, they're undefeated right now. If they can win this home and get one of these home and home games against Kentucky, take down Oklahoma, they can for sure a pretty good seed in the tournament. They got Michigan coming up on the 19th, a home game against the 8th ranked team, Michigan, right now, led by Olivia Olson, sophomore guard over there. And they've got another pretty young guard, Tayala Delfase, over there on Michigan. Been under the radar teams in women's right now that have been playing some pretty good basketball, and the rankings are being really fair over there. I like it. What do we got coming up over there? Any games last night? Looks like Alabama faced off against Missouri, came out with the win. Curly Weathers with a season high game in this one. 23 points, 9 of 13 shooting, and only 3 free throws in this game. So some ethical hoops no free throw merchants in college compared to the NBA. No, it's a lot more of a physical game, I feel like, on that level, getting people ready for the next the next stages. Well, looking out for that new draft coming up. Lauren Betts is a senior. The hometown hero from UCLA is going to be probably one of the higher draft picks this season. As we've seen in the WNBA recent seasons, that having a good forward, having a good big in the WNBA that can score at all three levels and has a great mid-range game has been the answer to winning championships and just being dominant in that league. So we're looking. There's definitely one of those teams going to have their eyes on Lauren Betts for the rest of the season, and UCLA, they're hoping to make a pretty solid run. Currently unranked right now in the top 25, but plenty of conference games ahead of them, being in the Big Ten as well. Definitely going to have some matchups against Michigan, Ohio State coming up, Oregon in the mix. Michigan State is also in the top 15 right now. There's plenty of matchups. UConn cannot be stopped though. Is their most recent game on Monday. Sarah Strong, who also is going to be a nod for one of the high draft picks coming up. 18-13 in this one, in a 95-54 win over Creighton. I mean, this team, time and time again, they do it. It doesn't matter what roster they have. They continue to maintain talent and just develop these girls to be a great team. Sarah Strong's been there all 4 years, and it's been the same level of productivity for all 4 seasons. They're like, you're not really getting anything different from her. And last season, we really got to see her shine because her and Paige Beckers were having themselves a season. It was an unfortunate end to their tournament, but they had themselves a pretty good year, and Paige Beckers earned herself a number 1 overall pick. But Azzy Fudd also having herself a year. 14 points in this one, 50% from the field, 4 free throws. Oh, sorry. I thought that was coming from my phone.
No, that was my phone. That's my bad. My bad.
I looked out on my phone and my laptop. I was like, what the heck?
I was trying to share it out.
We're getting hacked. Appreciate it. The one star performer for the UConn Huskies in this one was Bianca Quinones. 15 points off the bench in 19 minutes, 7 for 11 from the field. And she's a freshman forward. So, like I was saying, they're already building for the future, and they've got young players that they're ready to develop and starting to get minutes early in their career. It's like I was saying with Sarah Strong. This is what she looked like earlier in her career. Low minutes, high efficiency. Yes. They're a really great coach team. And I mean, moving forward in the rest of history, UConn has got to be one of the best basketball dynasties in like the history of basketball. Got to be UConn women's basketball. It's got to be. This in the last recent success in just the last 20 years has been insane. Kicking it over to the men's side, I got to talk about my team, Arizona, because Koa Pete and the squad are just looking unbeatable right now. Beating Florida in the year opener, taking down UCLA, and then you go to UConn, take them down with 2 more back-to-back wins against SEC opponents in Auburn and Alabama. And once you get to your conference play, you're right into it. Like, didn't even break any stride. It took out Utah 97-78, beat Kansas State, just obliterated Kansas State 101-76, and went on the road to TCU a pretty tough stadium, pretty tough place to play. They get a lot of fans in there, and a closer game than they would have expected, but got the win 86-73. And this was one that they really needed because in the end of the day, they got some good minutes out of guys that they really need to have perform later in the season if they want to make a good tournament run. Like Braden Burries, although he was 2 for 8, I feel like was one of the only players in this game for Arizona that actually had some real hustle, some real heart. It was 6 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. I mean, he was all over the floor. His only points really in this game were all coming off of lobs and dunks, high momentum, high impact, and just swinging plays that would start a run for Arizona and just move them on into the next break like nothing ever happened. Just completely erase anything that TCU would do to break into their lead. The lowest that this game had gotten was 9, and it was really only at the start of the second half. Arizona had a rough start. Came out first few minutes, only had about 10, 15 points scored, but came out nearly matched their opponent with 43 points in the second half. Getting some great minutes. Getting some great minutes out of your bench. I wish their team was a little bit deeper of a roster, but in the end of the day, they're still undefeated and they've got quite the resume to show for it. So I wouldn't even say that this is a team that you shouldn't be worried about. This is one of the teams that everybody needs to keep their eyes on for the rest of the year. Looking at their schedule coming up, BYU, Texas Tech, Houston, who's in the top 10, and one of their final games of the season is against the currently number 2 seed in the country, Iowa State, who just recently got taken down by Kansas, which is another home and home matchup that Arizona has this season, which just adds to the resume. Again, Kansas has proven right now that they're going to become a team that can compete and may even just be out here to play spoiler right now. They're only 12-5 though. So this could be an underdog Jayhawks team, something that we haven't seen in a while. We didn't hear a lot about this team at all in this offseason. No one really had their eyes on them. They lost a lot of their major prospects. Hunter Dickinson hit the transfer portal and he said bye-bye. So a lot of them went off the radar. But with the pretty tough schedule that they have played, they've taken game against UConn. They played Duke, North Carolina, got a win over number 17 Tennessee. If they keep on with this run after a huge win against Iowa State, Kansas could be a dark horse pick to make a tournament run, which is an interesting thing to say. Is there any other teams anyone wants me to cover? Look at their roster, look at their schedule or anything, drop it in the comments. Joel, let's check on Indiana basketball. That's your squad, right?
Well,
At least
kind of.
At least where you're from.
That's where I'm from. Yeah, I was kind of surprised with the football. To be honest with you,
about to be undefeated season.
We're not exactly a football school. We're more of a basketball school.
I think Kurt Signetti might be changing the culture over there. But it looks like Indiana is actually leading the Big Ten. They're 15-0. Oh, that's football. God dang it. It brought me to Indiana football. That would be true, though. They are undefeated. And they did win the Big Ten. Drop any teams you want us to cover in the comments here today. Any NBA. But while we're at it, we might as well head over to the NHL real quick before we go on another music break. See what their standings are like over there. It looks like the Avalanche have not let anything slip, really. 33-4, still leading. Got a way, way big lead on the rest of the Western Conference right now. The closest team in wins compared to the Avalanche right now is the Dallas Stars, who are 27-11. So right now, the Colorado Avalanche are looking like they are a favorite to win the Stanley Cup this year. Still have not lost a game in regulation on their home ice this season. 19-0. That is just insane. Only 4 losses in regulation coming on the road. I mean, it's just a force to be reckoned with. We have one of the least amount of games played in the Western Conference as well. Only 45. Dallas, Minnesota, Utah, St. Louis, Edmonton, a lot of those big teams from last year, they are way trailing behind the Avalanche right now. It's looking like they might be a lock for Western Conference Finals in the NHL. And in some of their recent games, right now on a 3-game streak, haven't allowed a goal in the last 3 games as well. They won 6-0 against the Sharks, 3-0 in Chicago against the Blackhawks, and took down Nashville 3-0 the other night on the road as well. Wow. I mean, this is one of the best Avalanche teams that we're seeing in a really long time. And this is a squad that won the Stanley Cup not too long ago. I mean, we're getting teams recording their first NHL shutout with the Avalanche. I mean, we got 17 straight home wins on the season. And with the 2 goalie situation that we do have, both of them are back healthy right now. It's honestly just adding to the depth of the team. And it looks like the guys that we have on the squad right now are really committed to the brand. And they're okay with getting some rotational minutes as long as this team is winning games and as long as they're bringing home some type of championship at the end of the year. I'm happy with what's going on right now. Brent Burns is having himself a really good season to be alongside Nathan McKinnon, obviously, who's leading us in points, goals, and assists. But when you got a guy like him, you really just need a supporting cast to help him out, and he can get it done for you. I'm excited to see what the Avalanche do for the rest of the year. Keep your eyes on them, though, Denver, because we will see what happens to the Broncos this weekend. 2:30. Hosting the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you, like, did you already give your prediction? Did you see their injury report yet?
Yeah, I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be able to beat the Broncos by himself.
They have a lot of, and I don't know how you read into that injury report, but I just saw the injury report for the Bills. Like, they've got 20 people on that injury report. And Josh Allen is one of those that said limited in practice. So, but I don't know how much you want to read into that.
A lot of the guys that say like do not practice, they probably didn't play, or they're just not practicing so they can be ready for the game. But mainly the more healthier guys are like your limited practice guys or the full practice ones. That's they don't need to be there really. Just mainly just want to be healthy for the game kind of thing. And then there's probably some other guys that aren't even on the injury report because they're on the IR list. Their season's already been ended. They're not going to be able to return. It's another common misconception, but I think it's still honestly going to be a close game just because of Josh Allen. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Well, we know it's going to be a close game because what do the Denver Broncos do to perfection every single year? They play to the opponent's strength. We always match energy with energy.
Well, in that case, you better hope that the Bills come out and play with some fire. Then it'll be one of those situations with the
or it's going to be
comeback
another
victory.
Raiders and Broncos at home game.
One of the ones where you're like, all right, we're for sure that we can leave in the middle of this game. There's not going to be anything crazy that goes down in this one. But anyone that left early in that Giants game, I feel bad for you. Not even a Broncos fan.
Kyle says Broncos win, so at least we got one person on our team.
I'm probably gonna have to say the Broncos. I think yesterday I actually said the Bills, but I got off the show and looked at everyone's injury report. I'm like, man, he's really gonna have to do it by himself.
Either that or they're just playing mind games and they just turned in something and had all of them write something. Coaches can do that too.
And it is the time of year also where, I mean, you're either going to have a super injured roster, everyone's all injured, or you're going to be one of the lucky ones, one of the lucky teams. That's kind of the case for a lot of teams that didn't even make the playoffs. Only team you can say that faced that adversity and still made it is the Niners. That's just how good they've been. We're going to save the rest of our football talk for the pick'em. When we come back, everybody, we are going to hit some of your favorite segments. We got team building exercise, got pick'em, and we are going to cover a little bit more of this transfer portal. I want to see what some of these future teams are looking like. So we'll be right back, everyone, until the final whistle. Stay with us.
We're living the American dream. I'm the American dream. Go to school, go to work, Sunday mornings choose a church, attend our games, our plays, PTAs. Drive our cars, flying planes, take the buses, take the trains, walk the beach, ski the slopes, living out our dreams and hopes. We're living, yes, we're living the American dream. We're the American dream. Thank you, soldier, sailor, airman, guardsman, and marine. Thank you all for fighting for our freedom and our dreams, protecting our Constitution, guarding our homes and towns, defending our shores, seas and skies, and putting boots on the ground. Some gave all for me and you. We served the red, white, and blue, protecting the American dream. for each to still be different but live in peace. Till then, we must protect ourselves, 'cause we're living, yes, we're living the American dream. I'm the American dream. We're the American dream.
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at nbradio.net.
All right, you are looking live. That's till the final whistle, everybody. We're back. And quickly, we were talking about Indiana and how they're rebuilding and always moving for the future. Now that Kurt Signetti's over there, they've got themselves a brand new quarterback for next year. Now that Mendoza is a senior, and a brand new star wide receiver who's led his team in rushing the last 2 seasons as well. So not only did they go get a 15-0 season so far and make it to the national championship game, they picked up Nick Marsh and Josh Hoover from the transfer portal, a primetime speedster, sophomore going into his junior year, and one of the best arms in the Big 12. Got a real strong arm, gunslinging quarterback. I'm excited to see what that goes on. And drop your predictions for the national championship as well, because we have a home game for Miami on the 19th. I'm still excited for it because Indiana's going to put up a fight no matter what, no matter where they're playing. It's only going to make the game that much better that Indiana is playing on the road, technically. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see that. Sam Leavitt is heading over to LSU. They're calling him the recruiting king, but half the team has already left, and they haven't really got that many recruits over there, you know? They haven't really got too many recruits so far, I feel like, at LSU. Let's just pull up a full tracker website here for them, because I really want to see what they got going on. So they've got Dylan Jones, running back from Wisconsin. Okay, that's actually a pretty big signing there. He kind of fell down the depth chart this year. Still got 3 seasons of availability, so he'll be going into his sophomore year. Had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the starter at the beginning of the year for Wisconsin, but soon later on they found some success in their upperclassmen guys. Let's see as well. Caden Durham is going to withdraw his name, so he's going to be staying over there. Looks like they're getting Sam Leavitt as well. That's kind of all they've really gotten so far. Troy transfer wide receiver, Roman Mothershed. Kentucky O lineman. Ole Miss transfer receiver. Landon Clark, a transfer from Elon. Could be a potential starter there. Got a QB battle going on. Edge rusher. Achilles Woods. I mean, they really haven't landed too many guys yet. Not too many high profile players on their team quite yet for, I feel like, LSU to be too much of a problem in the SEC, because you know those teams out there with their coaches have been there for a few years now, and they're not really rebuilding as much as LSU is right now. I think we might have to wait a few seasons before we see old Lane Kiffin step back into the light. Tough end to Ole Miss's season, but I mean they put up one heck of a fight without their head coach and without all of their coordinators. The entire coaching staff left. So I really don't even know what you expect from them. Should we head over? I'm just going to look at some of the top headlines across sports right now. The pretty funny game on Monday night in Milwaukee. The the Bucks were getting absolutely killed at home by the 76ers. Fans are booing them. They're down by 30 points. Giannis gets an and one and he boos the fans back. I wish I had a clip of this, but they got absolutely trounced. It was the Timberwolves as well. Down by more than 30 going into halftime and just beat down. Booed the team going into the locker room. First basket of the third quarter. Giannis gets an and one lay-in over Julius Randle and booed his own fans back. I mean, still, despite their record and despite this game in general being down 30 plus at halftime, you got one of the best players in the world on your team that's still out there putting on a show for you every single night. And he's been having a great season this year. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I get booing the entire team. But at the same time, you got Giannis out there and he's still playing his heart out. Start booing once you guys get rid of Giannis. It's just disrespectful only to Giannis. Had 25, 9 of 13 shooting. And I mean, he's done this several times. The fans already this season. Game-winning shot against the Pacers. 2 thumbs down. Windmill dunk in Chicago. Put an exclamation point on a huge win for them. Got that dub. 2 thumbs down. I mean, I like that he's kind of going in this villain era. I like it. If Giannis gets traded and they create a super team, I wouldn't be that upset. I wouldn't be that upset. If he gets traded somewhere that ends up making it a complete super team, we got Kevin Durant 2.0, I wouldn't be all that upset with it. It's pretty crazy though that they got all this drama going on and they really couldn't continue to rebuild that roster. Damian Lillard went down and their future and their playoff window was shut in an instant. And it was really disappointing for Milwaukee. Maybe one day they'll bounce back. But right now, everybody, we are going to head over to your favorite segment, my favorite segment, team building exercise, because we are going to try. I'm going to do it solo this week. I'm going to try and get that 300,000 passing yards. Let's do it, everybody. Let's get to team building.
And I'm putting together a special team.
All right, everybody. You know the rules for this. We got every team in the NFL plus our your choice space. And the goal is to get all 20 spots. We want 20 running backs, 4 doubles, and we are looking for 300,000 rushing yards total. So we get our wheel up here. I'm going to pull out my phone so I can list everybody down that we got. This is a lot harder when you only have.
Yeah, I was looking for the wheel.
I had it up beforehand. I just needed to get the screen shared and all that good stuff.
So, what do you think the prediction is going to be with Buffalo and Broncos? Then, if you said, I missed it.
I think Broncos are probably going to win. Yesterday, I did not see the injury report. My pick was the Bills yesterday, but I don't want to change my answer though. I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with the Bills. Pull a little upset. Here we go. First pick of the day, we get the Oakland Raiders. And I think with the first pick, I'm just going to go with Marshawn Lynch on this one. And instead of getting their totals and that now, somebody drop some doubles in the comments or we'll figure those out right now. But I'm just going to total them up while we're on the break and we'll get everything for you guys. Next spin. Washington Commanders. Okay. All right, let me think here.
Do.
This is the one that I always have the worst memory of. And it's John Riggins. Here we go. That's what I was thinking of. John. Still drop those comments in for us for our double. Buffalo Bills here. Well, I guess I can't mess it up like we did last week, and I got to go with Frank Gore. I can't mess it up like last week, and I got to go with Frank Gore. I'm gonna win this week for HG, and when he comes into the studio, sees our grand total. It's gonna be written on the wall. That's what. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Give us Barry Sanders, baby. Give us Barry Sanders. We're on spin number 5. Spin number 5. Tennessee Titans. We can go back in time and pick players from the Houston Oilers. We're gonna go. Oh yeah, I can do Eddie George. We can do Eddie George here for our 5th spin, landing on Tennessee. Spin. Bengals, I believe their leading rusher is Corey Dillon. I believe it's Corey Dillon. I'm going with Corey Dillon. Colts. Spin for number 7. Got the Colts. Indianapolis Colts. This is one that I could have gone with Frank Gore. Oh, who's that guy? Dang. Do you remember the running back for the Seahawks in 2009 when they had Matt Flynn? Oh, I know. I think it's like Edgerrin something. Search up Edgerrin James for me and see if he was on the Colts. I swear he was on the Colts.
So Edwin James.
Yeah, EDGERRIN. He had to have been on the Colts.
Yes, he was a star player for the Indianapolis Colts in the NFL.
There we go. That's a solid pull right there. We got any doubles in the comments yet?
I think the
there
last
we
comment said 5'10", 20.
5, 10, 15, 20. Let's do it. Let me hit up the next spin. Saints is obviously going to be... Oh, well. Do I save Adrian Peterson and go with Ricky Williams for now? That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing Ricky Williams for now. If I get the Saints later on, then I can go with Adrian Peterson. There's still plenty of options for Adrian Peterson. So I'm going Ricky Williams. Jacksonville. We want Fred Taylor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, this is our 10th spin. This is going to be a double. Oh my gosh, that's a blessing. With Sean McCoy. Let's go. Double that. Perfect pick. Cleveland Browns. I believe this is good. Probably Jim Brown. Or no, Jamal Lewis got drafted by the Browns. That dude that was on the Ravens. No, he got drafted by the Ravens and was on the Browns. That's Jamal Lewis. Hang on. I'm just going to pull up his Wikipedia page. Yep. He was on the Browns at the end of his career. He was drafted by the Ravens, ended his career on the Browns. There we go. Beautiful spin. Denver. Okay, this one I can't forget. This is one that I can't forget because it's freaking Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett was on the Broncos his last year of his career. All those rushing yards with the Cowboys. He's helping us out here. Give us Tony Dorsett. Let me check that I'm saying the right name, though. Yep, because it's in my search history. For him. There we go. Perfect. Next up, Carolina Panthers. Okay, this is going to have to be a crazy pull. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is number 13. I might need a skip here. I may need my first skip on number 13. This may be where I need to go. Unless I can randomly pull somebody out of the back of my mind here. So I don't think they have anyone in the top 25 or in the top 20 of even leading rushers. I don't think the Carolina Panthers are even in the top 20 for that. Here we go. Perfect. We're on spin number 13, rolling on our first yo. That's perfect. Seahawks. We took Marshawn Lynch. But let's just go with Sean Alexander. Let's go with Sean Alexander. We're going Sean Alexander. All-time leading rusher over there. Someone that was drafted. Texans. Ooh. Okay. This might be another yo situation. Yeah, we're not on a double quite yet, so we do have some time to figure this one out if we want to. This might have to be our second yo, unless we get somebody random. Because we can't pick anyone that's been on Houston Oilers, because that's technically the Tennessee Titans still. It's the same team. Ooh. I need the second yo. We need it. It might come back to bite us later. Might come back to haunt us later. But right now, I think landed on Miami.
You got a yo.
Miami, I'm going to go with good old Thurman Thomas. Can't forget about Thurman Thomas. Yes, he was a Miami Dolphin. It was one that I learned over the weekend that I was studying up on, making sure that I let HG. The spin's getting doubled. We've already gotten Eddie George. We can go with Derrick Henry. We'll take Derrick Henry here. We'll take Derrick Henry. We got kind of lucky there not picking him the first time, because Eddie George doesn't have as many rushing yards as Derrick Henry does. Oh, let's go. Perfect. We get the all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. Oh, damn. Okay, let me see how many spins this is. 1, 2, 3. 16. Okay, we got 3 more spins left. Let's get a pull. Let's get a pull here. Let's try and save our thing. Already got shady. Maybe. Hang on. Let's check this. Did Ricky Waters play for the Eagles? I believe he did. Because in the Mitchell and Ness store where you buy legitimate football jerseys, I've seen Waters Eagles jerseys. Yep. 1992 to 2001. The Mitchell and Ness store always has those OG jerseys in it. So that's what I've seen in Philadelphia, downtown Philadelphia. I've seen a Ricky Waters Eagles jersey. Ooh. Commanders again. Rough. Okay. This may be our last yo. So we get John Riggins. Oh, yeah. Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson was on the Redskins. I know it would have helped us to save that for our last double, but come on now. One of the all-time leading records. Okay. Your choice. Oh, this is what we like. We want Walter Payton. We want Walter Payton. We're picking the Bears. And for our final spin, our final double, I got a good feeling about this one. I got a really good feeling about this one. You want to know why? Because we're gonna use our last yo on this spin too. We're gonna insure it. Drop it in the comments. Right now. Last yo, and we're gonna insure this. We got Frank Gore, Adrian Peterson, Barry. We got Walter. Come on, we got Emmitt Smith. All we need like the Chargers right now. Give us LT. Give us the Patriots so we can get a Curtis Martin. Come on. Or the Jets. Last yo. This is our last one. This is our last yo. Come on. This is all we need. I'm pretty sure aside from Ricky Waters, that's their own is their only player in the top 25. And there it is. There's our yo. We're gonna ensure this victory this week. We're ensuring this victory this week. Okay. That's all right. We could have just had Walter Payton doubled, but it's fine. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about it at all. We're not worried about it at all because right here. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Hold up. Thomas Jones. Which teams did he play for? He was on the Chiefs. He was on the Chiefs at one point. The Jets. Chicago Bears. And he had 10,000 rushing yards. Thomas Jones be number 20, and he'll be doubled. Beautiful. All right, everybody. That's our 20. With that being said, we have finished up on team building exercise for the week. We are going to head to a quick music break. I think we got it this week. I think we got the 300,000. When we come back, I'll have all of our totals for everybody, and let's see if we got the 300K. Let's do it. We'll be right back.
He sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't wanna hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. together today. You're not alone. She picks up the clothes that fall loose on the floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door, begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can do. Demons each day, 'cause you are not alone. So take my hand, baby, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. Not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah. And you are not alone. So take my hand, son, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. You're not alone. Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He puts it away, 'cause now he understands.
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5
On the front lines we stand side by side, with courage and strength that we won't let slide. Through the chaos, our hearts beat as one. Each brother's a soldier, into battle we run. When the shots ring out, we won't back down. In the silence of loss we'll wear our crown. We are soldiers, brothers in arms. Through fire and fury we weather the storms. In unity forged through the blood that we shed, together we stand, living for the dead. Each step we take through the mud and the pain, memories linger like the echoes of rain. We fight for the fallen, our spirit won't break. In honor we carry their names in our wake. Though the cost is high, our bonds grow tight. In the darkest of hours we'll shine our light. We are soldiers, brothers in arms. Through fire and fury, we weather the storms. In unity, forged through the blood that we've shed. Together we stand, living for the day. With every heartbeat, we carry their name. In the brotherhood force, we'll never be the same.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at nbradio.net.
Alrighty, everybody. We're going to move and get into the pick'em. I'm still getting all our totals added up here on my calculator for everybody. I got to get our doubles up in there. But it is now the divisional round over in the NFL playoffs. Let's kick it over to pool host. Everybody loaded up. I have not been on that site in such a long time.
I think I'm still in like 3rd or 4th. I'd have to look.
Log in here.
Do you want me to open it up?
I'm getting up the standings now. I just had to log back in here. Season standings. We got Wyatt in the lead. You moved up to 2nd place. There. It looks like me, Jimmy Covers, and Kyle, none of us put in picks last week, but they still have a shot. Jimmy's only 1 game back, and Kyle, I mean, he joined late, but he was right there for the whole season. He honestly would have beat us if he didn't get. He was only 1 week behind, and then the last 2 weeks of the season he did miss. But looks like Mohawk's gonna be taking the little trophy home. But just make sure we keep all of it.
Mohawk is top and pick him.
He's got a 2-game lead right now.
Oh wow! You. Okay.
At 177 and 94.
I'm gonna put some music on here since we're kind of like quiet. I don't want the
Sorry.
encoder to throw off or whatever.
Sorry. Getting all our totals and everything up here for that. But yeah, we'll take care of our trophies and everything that we won for the fantasy football and for the Pick'em League. And it'll be for the next winner next year. So we'll take care of them, and we'll have them polished off and ready for the next winner of the next season. But still got a couple weeks left in this season, because it does go all the way through out to the Super Bowl. So you're not fully out of it. We got 4 games coming up this weekend, Joel. Buffalo and Denver. Final predictions. Here we go. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Denver because I saw the injury report for the Buffalo Bills and it didn't look good. Now, you got to remember last year, Buffalo was a team that like kicked us out. So it is kind of a revenge game. And then again, this year, when they did beat us, I believe we were there in Buffalo and they barely beat us. But they beat us. Or am I wrong?
That was one of your early season losses, I believe so. I'm gonna go with Denver here. I don't think I don't think Josh Allen can beat the whole team.
I'm just picking
himself.
Denver because it's a home game. I mean,
so you guys play your best.
Yeah. I think the only thing that we have really going for us is, even though Bo Nix is a rookie, he has been here before. He played a playoff game last year. So, you know, he knows kind of what to expect, and he knows what to shrug off and stuff now.
Yeah.
He has that experience.
I'm going with Bo Nix here. Going with the Broncos. There's a chance that you guys might even have J.K. Dobbins playing in this game.
I heard.
I'm gonna say, even without him, I think you guys still probably control the ball game and take him out. And then we got this one. This is probably going to be the best game of the entire weekend. San Francisco is going to Seattle. I have no idea who to pick in this game, honestly.
I'm picking San Francisco.
That's not a bad pick.
I'm picking San Francisco because San Francisco still has a very good defense. Even though Seattle is very, very loud, you don't need Cadence Cole when it comes to defense.
That's pretty true. That's very true. I think, yeah, we'll see if Sam Darnold is seeing ghosts again. He was the number 1 seed last year. And they got beat after their first round bye, Minnesota. So we'll see what happens this year. You know what? I'm going to go with this. I'm going with the Seahawks, man. I want to see Darnold get it done. Next up, Sunday, 3 p.m., getting a little late afternoon window. Houston is going to New England. You know,
I would say New England if it was in Foxborough, because playing in Foxborough,
it is.
It's very hard.
It is.
Oh yeah, it is. Unfortunately, I'm still probably going to pick Houston.
I am also going with Houston
because
because
have a better defense.
Their defense looked dominant. The offensive line for the Patriots has been pretty iffy all year long. I don't know if he's going to be able to get in there. Drake May is going to have as much success as he did in that run game because they weren't really able to score a whole lot of points against the Chargers. It's just kind of the fact that Chargers offense, they flew all the way across the country just to kick one field goal and walked out of there. It's a rough ending. Justin Herbert made a name for himself as 3 consecutive playoff appearances without a win, which ties him for 3rd all time in playoff losses without recording a win. Some pretty historic names on there, pretty old school guys that are on that list. There's not many modern quarterbacks that have lost that many playoff games in a row. I mean, you can't really fully blame it on the guy. It's always been kind of a rough going for them. But I would say that Houston's going to take them down in this. Houston's going to beat New England. They're going to need one more season to figure it out. It's going to be another team's chance. And then we got the NFC. Be our other team in the NFC Championship. The Los Angeles Rams will be going to Soldier Field to play the Bears. And I'm going with the Bears. If they can find a way to...
They're pretty hot. They're pretty hyped, man. I think the Bears could be possibly the Cinderella team for this year.
They really could be, man. Caleb Williams is having himself a season. Everyone doubted him. This dude's been getting hate since the draft combine for no reason. But I'm going with the Bears. I think after that comeback that they made against the Packers, 25 points in the 4th quarter. They'd done it earlier in the year against other teams, scoring 18 points in the 4th quarter on prime time. And they're a really well-coached team. If they're not having issues at the beginning of the game, they're gonna kill you, man. They're gonna get you. I'm going with the Bears, though, and the tiebreaker for that one. Oh man. I'm just going to go here and say 46. I'll go 48 on the tiebreaker here.
I went with Los Angeles, and I went with 41.
I like it.
Yeah. But, you know, somebody just commented on TikTok that wouldn't it be interesting if it was the Chicago Bears against the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl?
That would be a pretty cool Super Bowl. 2 second-year quarterbacks going against each other. Got pretty young head coach. Ben Johnson is his first year as a head coach this season, and he's killing it.
I mean, it's totally doable.
Kyle says Broncos Bears Super Bowl or a Broncos Rams Super Bowl.
Oh, it's going to be Broncos and 49ers or Broncos and Bears. That's probably. I'm not going to pick that on like a pick'ems or anything because, you know, I gotta keep my stats up. But if I was calling for an upset, this is the game that I would say upset alert. Just because the Bears are high, they're excited, their attitude is all the way up. There's plenty of teams that do really, really bad in the postseason, get a wild card, and then make it all the way to the Super Bowl win. A perfect example is the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah. They barely even had a winning record that year. Yeah. They got in. Sorry, everyone. I'm still getting our numbers in here. I forgot to do our doubles. So I added all the numbers up without the doubles.
While Caveman does that, let me bring your attention to the left corner of the left side of the screen where you see that QR code. Right now, MBR is fundraising, and how we're fundraising is we are trying to get money together. We got these shirts, and if you like a Die Tired shirt, or you can scan that QR code, all proceeds that we get will go to giving our veterans a voice. So make sure that you scan on that QR code and buy a shirt. Buy a shirt for a family member or anybody. It's not just a shirt. It's about a message reflecting to everybody that even when shit hits the fan and you don't know what to do, all you have to do is look at that duck and remember just weather the storm. You might have those feelings today, but you won't have those feelings tomorrow.
There is no way. I don't know how we didn't do it. This has got to be an impossible challenge.
What's that?
All those rushing yards.
Yeah.
We did not reach 300,000. 283,639 was our total. And that was all 20 numbers added up correctly with 4 doubles. And we literally had everybody. We had so many players in the top 30 for all-time leading rushers in that list. So I'm going to go ahead and say right now that I think that this challenge is completely impossible, and that HG did the math just a little bit off. That 20 running backs for 300,000 yards is just a little too many yards. I don't think we can physically do that. I don't think we can physically get that. Because we had LaShawn McCoy, Tony Dorsett, we had Emmitt Smith, Adrian Peterson, Walter Payton. We had double Derrick Henry. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I think if we had one more double on that list, we still probably only would have been like 1,000 off, or at least like a couple hundred off. So at that point, it's like we just barely mispicked by going with Sean Alexander. So you would just been slightly under the point of the 10K. So you would have been the last like 600 so yards that we needed if we got him, if we didn't need him. Man, that is weird. I'm going to double check my math off the air, and I'll come back next week for everybody, and I'll let you guys know what we got. But it is a bit early, but we are going to finish things up today, right now. We'll be back on next week, and I'll be here on Friday for the H-Train show. So we'll get a full week of Caveman this week on MBR. But this has been Till the Final Whistle, everybody. I'm signing off for the day. We'll be back with your divisional round for Football Frenzy and our national championship breakdown next week. And we've got some more of our regular show on Wednesday next week as well, with our NBA, college basketball, all of those sports. Stay tuned, everyone. Stick with MBR. Remember to hit that QR code up at the top left. Help us out with some donations and help out some veterans. And we'll see you guys next week.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness, one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.